All right, good evening or afternoon, depending on where you are at, Midwest Star Wars Fanatic fans. We got a special show tonight. We're kind of deviating from our usual our Tuesday night show here with my co-host Travis, and we got a couple of guests with us as well. Some of you from the Midwest will be very familiar with these two, especially if you go down to Nashville each year for ICCC. Let's welcome Phil, and Michael. Welcome to tonight's show.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having us on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Great to see you all.
Great to have you.
It's pretty awesome having Michael and Phil on right now because right now they're living the rough life in Vegas. But Michael, you're out there getting an award for something, correct?
Yeah, actually, I was lucky enough to get nominated and won the Convention Promoter of the Year for the Hall of Honor in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm out here at a diecast car show, which, to tell you the truth, I don't collect diecast cars, so I don't know anything. But the event, the dinner is tomorrow night, and Phil came out to support me. My wife is here to support me, and the dinner is tomorrow night, and then there's a big toy show the next day that's part of it as well. So it kind of like leads into a toy show. So it's really exciting. But we got that. I mean, it's as much, Phil, it's as much Andrea, it's as much as all the leadership team and stuff. We had to go through a lot of things to make last year happen. Every other convention on the planet canceled and pulled up their tent poles. And I mean, the people still needed it, even though we were in a pandemic. It was just, we had to figure out a way around it. So what do we do?
Yeah, absolutely. We found a way to bring a little bit of magic and happiness and memories and experiences to the community there in Nashville and the collecting community as well. We just had to find a way.
So that way was buying about 8 billion masks and 8,000 gallons of hand sanitizer. If anybody out there needs 40 pallets of hand sanitizer, but we did it. We had these UV light wands that all the guys went over all the tables. I don't know. It seemed to be good. I mean,
Masks,
we didn't get any complaints.
Sanitizers, no.
So yeah,
not one reported health issue from.
Yeah. Well, I know Travis didn't get a chance to go to it last year, but I know I was there, and it was. It was well, and people caught my video last year. Was it worth it? Yeah, it was. It was ran well. It was very, you had your options. You had sanitize. I mean, it was there, and safety you could tell was the care, especially the way everything was spaced out and stuff. So, I know we are very excited for this year's show. As Star Wars fans, obviously coming from a Midwest Star Wars Fanatics group here. Probably one of the best Star Wars lineups, other than pretty much Celebration, I have seen in a long time at a convention. So I know Travis and I kind of talked about this a little bit and how well this was, but we really want to kind of get into everything. And people might have saw the article a few weeks ago I wrote about some of the guests, and it's already has changed dramatically of the people that you have added. So we're going to kind of go through some of the guests and some of the the characters there that we all know and love, and some of the ones that we're going to pop into down in Nashville. And let's just get started. Why don't we just start talking about this screen right here? I mean, how huge is this, you guys?
It's all you, Michael.
Well, I'll tell you. First of all, the screen drives me nuts because I made that the Emperor picture like way at the beginning last year. So I'm missing the sticker marker. And also, if you notice the date at the top right corner. So that drives me crazy personally. Most people don't even probably notice it, but I'll be fixing that tonight. But
it'll be a variant.
Now that I see it, yeah, it's a variant. Collect that. It'll be gone. But no, the way it worked out, man, I'll tell you, it's been wonderful. And we've been doing this con. You've been there since the first year, brother, and I appreciate it, man. You're putting out great videos about it, and that's great. And we really appreciate it. That's how it's grown so much. But what's happened is it's just been word of mouth. All we do is we just have these guest stars. You know what, man? I was up at a convention a long time ago, and Gerald Holm, God rest his soul, wonderful guy, Squidhead. How great is he?
Oh, yeah.
Or was he? Beautiful. And he passed away this past year. But I remember I was up at a convention a while ago, and I won't say which one, but it was before this con. And I noticed that we were out at a steak restaurant, and we were having a steak right across from the convention center. And there were some guest stars there, and it was filled, and he got turned away, and Booker T got turned away from the restaurant because there was no room for them in reservations. And I found that to be so reprehensible that a convention would have these people out as their guests and not make sure they had something to eat. So all we do is we treat people like their friends coming to visit, and that has snowballed so much because they go tell their real friends, and their real friends tell their real friends. I'll tell you how I got the Emperor. You were there. We were sitting on the porch of the hotel last year right after the convention. Daniel Logan was psyched because he had a great time, and Dickie Beer had a great time. Mark had a great time. All the Bobas had such a fun time, and blah, blah, blah. And we were sitting there, and Daniel was hanging out on the porch with us, and we were all having, I think, possibly an adult beverage. But it was 3 a.m. on Sunday. You know, it was all over. And he's like, you know what, man? You need the Emperor. So, boom, hopped on his phone at 3 a.m. and called the Emperor's agent, who he didn't even wake up. And, like, we started talking and getting connected and blah, 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 blah. But it's all word of mouth. And it's just this guy treats people nice, and his team are better than anybody because they actually care. That's the hook, guys. Like, I know you don't see it right now because we're sitting in a Vegas hotel room here. But we have collections just like yours. You know, we do that same thing. So this entire leadership team are nerds, and that's what makes it like this. It's not like we're going out of our way or choosing to do something different.
Right.
This is just what we've always wanted, that we have felt marginalized for our entire nerd career.
Absolutely.
Because these are, you know, we're just trying to eradicate the problems that all of us could sit down. If you made a list of problems at a normal Comic-Con, and we're trying to correct all of those and just make it nice. Why can't it just be nice? Everything else happens, man. You know, I don't know what the quote is, and I say it a bit, but it was Walt Disney, man, and he said, you know, the only thing you got to worry about is putting smiles on people's faces and them being happy. Everything else is going to take care of itself as long as you keep doing that. And even though we're still waiting for it to pan out, as we always hemorrhage money every year to make it happen, it's going to pan out, and it's a really wonderful thing. And man, I don't know. You can't tell me during that pandemic last year that didn't give you a real, you know, just a daisy starting to grow in your chest or something. I don't know, man. There was a little stream of light coming through the window. So it was.
So, yeah, I mean, it was like, you know, and what was amazing is with this is obviously you had, you know, that announcement was so soon afterwards, which was great. And but then most cons are like, okay, we got our big star now, let's start filling up. And then you came through with another big announcement right next to them there. I mean, Travis, how much do we talk about this with these two already? Like, wow, Anthony Daniels coming in as well. Like,
yeah, as I was putting together the the backgrounds for the show earlier this week, I was like, add an image. It's like, oh wait, there's another one. It's like, oh wow, there's another. It's like I was just like, oh, I forgot like how many people you guys had announced were going to be down there. So it's like it kept getting better and better. It's like, oh, little appetizer, a little main course, there's a dessert. Oh, it just keeps going and going. So it was a, like Greg said, a phenomenal lineup for Star Wars fans for sure.
Well, I'm Italian. I know how to feed a large family.
There you go.
So on top of this, you know, so we have Anthony Daniels coming, you know, McDermott coming, which is pretty cool. But we reached out not just to the original trilogy, but we've also as well moved into other things. And again, we are still in some of the original trilogy here. So tell us a little bit about these guests, Phil and Michael, and who we got coming here.
Well, these guys are great. Trevor Butterfield's a super fun one because he's not just Star Wars. He's done a lot of the special effects and everything on movies, all the movies, you know, Mission Impossible, all the big ones. He also did, the motorcycle for Harry Potter. If you look down in the bottom very corner there, you can see him riding it, but he built that motorcycle, you know, Hagrid's motorcycle, stuff like that. So that's really cool. But also he checked so many boxes because if you need a Trandoshan or a Bosk signature, he played Bosk on the sail barge. If you need, you know, an Akbar or a Mon Calamari or even a Stormtrooper, he checks so many boxes for somebody might need that.
Brought a lot of personality through a variety of different characters to the film. Yeah.
Plus, he even backed up Luke, so he's got a lot of really cool, like all the test pictures for Luke. He's pretty much the guy in. So it's like him in the gunner's chair on the Falcon, or he's got really good pictures. So I suggest stopping by his booth just because his pictures are phenomenal. The next one,
Julian Glover probably ranks him on the top 10 most celebrated bad guys in film history. I mean, Veers, Grandmaster Pycelle, Indiana Jones. Yeah, just great
You have
stuff.
chosen poorly.
Right?
Even 007, James
Right.
Bond, and even currently, man, he was Aragog in Harry Potter. So yeah, he's the perpetual bad guy there. So we are the Imperial Commissary Collectors Convention.
Exactly.
Stick with the bad guys, but then we sneak in another rebel. But you all know Mike Quinn. Mike Quinn is awesome, man. He played Nine Numb. He even played him in the new movies. He was also a puppeteer on a lot of different things. He was also Jim Henson's like go-to guy. So he has some of the most amazing stories in the world, man, especially if you're into puppetry at all. He could teach you how to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. One of my actually favorite, as I was writing up the bio for Quinn this year, I was thinking about it. I realized, his character Nine Numb was one of the few characters to be on the cruise that killed the Emperor twice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just start 2 on Exegol.
Yeah, the only one to beat him would be Wedge, man, because he has 2 Death Stars.
Okay, Wedge. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But Wedge,
right.
yeah. Wedge is the guy. Wedge never gets enough credit. Imagine if he had like a fighter jet, his X-wing was a fighter. The side of it would look like it's like Death Star, or AT-AT, billion planes,
True.
jets,
Very true.
TIE fighters. He's a champion. I like these Wedge.
I mean, we can even add that accomplishment with Anthony Daniels. I mean, he's the only actor who's been in every single Star Wars film. Like,
well, see what I've been saying, because I'm corny, is I say we got Anthony Daniels and the Emperor together. They've been in about 15 Star Wars movies, but they never hang out with each other. So ICCC is where everybody comes to hang out.
Yep. Then we have so one guest you hear just recently announced, and an author as well. Timothy Zahn, which father of Thrawn here, which is amazing. So tell us a little bit about grabbing these two on board.
Well, Timothy Zahn, we had the first year. I remember he was the first guest star I was able to wrangle that was a Star Wars guest. And man, anybody that knows Timothy Zahn realizes that between the years of 1987 and 2000, he was essentially the reason for 1996, because episode 1 really did bring back hype.
Right.
So between those years, he was it. That's the whole reason why Star Wars exists. Heir to the Empire, Last Command, all the books, man. And now with Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn, he invented, who literally is my favorite character personality in all of Star Wars. I love Boba Fett. I love the toy. But favorite character in all of Star Wars is Grand Admiral Thrawn, and he just made him up out of thin air, man.
And you can argue that Timothy Zahn has had is second only to George Lucas in Star Wars world building, right?
Yeah. But be careful when he's climbing that mountain. He's like this.
Yeah, this is it's like you said, like with Timothy Zahn going back to the 80s, and people still talk about the original Thrawn trilogy. Like, hey, if you haven't read it, read it. It's just amazing. Just all the books and the characters he introduced, like you said, really kind of kept Star Wars afloat and alive and kind of in the conscious of people and the fans for decades.
Yeah. I used to read them as soon as his books came out. I would read his books. Yeah. Timothy Zahn had me hooked from young age when there was no Star Wars, no nothing. And then we got Clem So. Clem So is awesome because Clem So, he'll tell you himself, he's like, whenever they need anybody, an Asian guy with long hair, I am the guy. That's what he says, and that's his hook. And so he keeps his hair long. He's awesome, though. But he's been, if you go to IMDb, anybody out there, and go look at Clem So's list of movies, it's insane. It's like 200 of all the movies you've ever seen. And you'll be like, oh, where was he in that? And then you'll see him. Like, I see him in stuff all the time. I'm like, Clem! But he's really cool, man. He's a really good guy. And since we're leaning, I'll be honest, since it's starting to lean so much Star Wars, he checks all the other boxes. So we got a Guardians of the Galaxy, Jurassic Park, and
Do you play? Any of you guys play Cyberpunk 2077?
I have not.
No, I have not played that one yet.
Well, I do play with my kid. I keep expecting Clem So to come around the corner in that thing.
Yeah,
he's right in there.
Yeah, he does a lot of that too, man. But Clem So, he's a really cool guy that has been in like everything, and he has some of the coolest stories because he's always there.
Yeah,
So
that's one of the things that I will vouch for ICC is it's just the atmosphere, and I mean, how many conventions sometimes you're going to be sitting at the bar with having a cold drink and talking with some of these actors and learning about I mean, how many nights? Well, last year, I mean, I think every night us and the Boba Fett's closed that place down. So it was, it was just continuous. It was awesome. And that's what I love about the convention is how close you can get with the celebrities, but at the same time, it's just a whole different feeling than most conventions that you go to when it comes to this. Usually, once you don't see them at the convention, you don't see them anymore at all. And then all of a sudden, boom, here in Nashville, they're everywhere. So going into that, one of these guests that was there last year is going to be making a return, and we're going to talk about one of my favorite series, the Clone Wars. We've got a great lineup coming from this as well. And I mean, seriously, how cool is this group from the Clone Wars?
Well, you got Master, Apprentice, and the Master's love interest that he wasn't supposed to have. And always used to chew people out for having. Yeah. He'd always be like, "You can't have a girlfriend," and you don't realize that the only reason why he doesn't have a girlfriend is because Darth Maul killed him. Like,
Man,
that's true. Yeah.
I'm sorry, folks, that our show decided to go so dark right now.
Well, you got to watch the Clone Wars. I'm not a crazy person. Go watch the show. Right. I didn't make it up. James Arnold Taylor, man, he is a phenomenal person, a phenomenal human. He's actually he doesn't do cons anymore, but we became really good friends a few years ago. And so he will do our con, we're just so lucky to have him, man, because he's, you know what? Here, I'll tell you something about James Arnold Taylor. This is a story that just happened, but we're going, all right, what are your autograph prices? What are your this prices? What are your that prices? James Arnold Taylor wants to do something new this year where he makes an autograph that is personalized cheaper than an autograph that is not. Because he's just tired of all his stuff getting sold on eBay. I'm like, well, man, you got to raise your prices or do something because you have a serious value in your stuff. And he's like, well, I'll tell you what I'll do for stuff that people don't want it personalized. And when have you ever heard that it gets cheaper for personalizing it? Yep. But that's James Arnold Taylor. That speaks to his character. He is just a wonderful human being that is so kind to his fans and to literally anybody, man. I mean, even if you're not a fan, you can sit down with him and have a nice conversation. And he's just a really good guy. Anyway, what he's doing is he's dusting off his Talking to Myself stage show, which is James going through a billion different. You can find it on YouTube, but it's way older. I mean, he hasn't done it since ICCC 2019. So that was the last time he did it. Before that, the last time he did it was Star Wars something. It wasn't Celebration. It was Star Wars. It was a Star Wars event, but that was 5 years before that. So he never does this show because it's extremely taxing. I mean, make sure you go watch it. It's going to be awesome. I've seen it once. You saw it that one time, and it is something to behold because it is speaking of Vegas, since we're in Vegas, it's a Vegas show that he just spits out. And it's
there's so many things you just don't expect along the way that just keeps the attention up and going up and up and up. I mean, the guy's amazing.
All these voices you have heard are me. It's really good, man. But he was so cool. I remember I picked him up at the few years ago for one of the cons. He came in at 5 a.m. flight on Saturday because he couldn't make it Friday. He's going to be there Friday this year. But it was a Saturday flight at 5 a.m. and Andrea and I picked him up. And he's just always on, So we're driving him to the hotel and he starts talking like Plo Koon in the back seat. And it was such a trip. And then he did Obi-Wan and he did Christopher Walken in the back seat. How you doing? I can't do it. It's not my talent. But he's something else, man. So I've talked about him a lot. But then we also got Matt Lantner. Matt Lantner, I think, is really cool. And the reason why is besides being Anakin in the Clone Wars, he's also an actor that's in TV shows. He was in Timeless. He's in a 90210, a whole bunch of stuff. He's like a teen idol kind of deal, But he's also a Star Wars nerd. Because most people don't know, but you can catch him in The Mandalorian as a rebel fleet trooper. And that's just because he was a nerd and he wanted to be in a Star Wars show. So I really love people like that have the love for the fandom already because that translates in them being kind to the fans. So I'm super excited to meet him. I've never met him before, but he is the perfect go-to with James Arnold Taylor. I mean, what a photo op. You got Master and Apprentice.
Yep. And then Anna Graves, you know, I mean, that's just another great addition to the Clone Wars.
She's super cool, man. You know what? She's unbelievable at that. If you're not a real gamer, if you don't know, but video gamers, she's done like every voice.
Oh yeah,
All the Call of Duties,
Crazy.
all the World of Warcraft. I don't know. I don't have the list in front of me, but literally like 50 video games.
Yeah.
And you just, you know, and also she was Duchess Satine in the Clone Wars, which was Obi-Wan Kenobi's love interest. So you kind of have really good pair pictures that we'll be able to do with our professional photo ops.
Right.
So you can get like, you know, I don't know, if you're there with your girlfriend, you can get a picture with Obi-Wan and his girlfriend kind of deal. So I thought that was a good idea.
Can get a
Man.
double date, right?
Yeah, totally.
There you go.
But,
And then I'm going to throw this out here real quick, just in case if our Gamorrean guard Steven sees this video. I am so sorry we left your picture off of there.
oh my gosh.
That's
right.
my,
How dumb I knew that we did that. So Steven, nothing against you. We love you, brother.
He was on the beginning intro picture. So you're
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we just had a face cover.
Yeah.
that's my fault. There were so many people. I'm scrolling through trying to look for all the Star Wars people on the website. It's like this has to be all of them. Apparently, there's even
Well,
one
this guy
more.
right here all year goes, Mike, you got to stop putting guest stars in there. I don't have enough tables. Just stop. And I'm like, I can't stop, dude. It's Obi-Wan, you know? And Stephen Constantino, I'll tell you a Stephen Constantino story since we're talking about Stephen Constantino.
He's dope.
He's awesome, man. Played the Gamorrean Guard in Return of the Jedi. But also, he the first year we had the con, I completely spaced that conventions have to be torn down after they're done. We all did. We just didn't think of it.
Mhm.
So he was on a plane. Everybody had planes back to where they go because I'm the one from Nashville. Most people, even the leadership team, come in. They're Imperial Commissary members from the Facebook groups. So what happened is everybody was gone. It was my wife and I overbought the first year. We had these convention booklets, and I think I bought 10,000 of them because I was like, there'll be 10,000 people. There were not 10,000 people. So if you happen to need, 2,000 to 6,000 convention booklets, I can hook you up with that too. So we're lifting them, and we're like, oh. And then Stephen Constantino, the sweetheart that he was, wasn't leaving till the next day. And he stayed there all day long and cleaned with us and picked up stuff and loaded it into my truck and unloaded it at my house with me. And that's why Stephen Constantino, if you notice, I always try to change the guest stars, but he always comes back, and he will always come back to the end of time because he had no reason to help. He's just a kind person. And I like, if you put, once again, that Walt Disney thing, if you put kind people in the room together, magic is going to automatically happen. You don't have to do anything.
And that's Steven is awesome too. And then I want to do a shout out here for our sponsor, TRG Toys and Collectibles. He will actually be out there in April, and I'm sorry, TRG Toys, I can't remember the exact date right off the top of my head. But look up TRG Toy Collectibles on Facebook. Steven will be out there signing autographs, I believe, in April. So your chance to meet him there as well. And also in Nashville. So before we get into this final announcement, I want to talk a little bit about how great ICCC has been for fans. It's not just about, the celebrities coming in there. I know from personal experience that there's friends that I have met that now are just like brothers and sisters to me from this convention, from hanging out with the celebrities to sitting there and just being involved with such a great little thing is Michael. I mean, this year, do you think this is probably one of your biggest guest lineups that you've had for this convention?
Oh, yeah. Like by far. I mean, the first year it was all Star Trek people. And nothing against Star Trek. I like Star Trek. But this is, I don't know. I'm a Star Wars nerd. I've been a Star Wars nerd since I've been a little kid. I mean, this is what I've been going for forever. And the sheer fact that the time and effort, I mean, you got to understand the time and effort that I put in, everyone sees. They see the money that I put in. They see the money that it loses. And I just been too stupid to quit. But they don't see that there's him. And there's 16 other people on this leadership team that give their entire year. That's not to mention the Matt Brookins of the world that has given his entire year of custom making to make our custom exclusive collectibles. It doesn't, Jay, who does all the merch and stuff like that. My sister, My sister Maria flies down from Connecticut every year to, really run the staff.
Mhm.
Philip does all the convention management. I mean, if I didn't have Philip, I mean, everybody would kind of be like, I'd be like, all right, here's the venue. Y'all should have a space. Just throw your stuff down. He's like in there the day before with tape and a tape measure and measuring chandeliers so you can make sure we can fit the giant props and stuff. So, he does that stuff. My wife, I'd be in IRS prison if it wasn't for my wife. And the reason why is because I go, all right, everybody come here. I'll take the money for tickets, and here I'll pay this and I'll do that. And let's buy a bunch of merch on this credit card and let's do this on that. And she figures it all out at the end of the year. So that way because I don't have those abilities. The wonderful thing that I have been blessed with, the thing that I have is I have the understanding that I don't know everything. And I know that there's people out there that know things a lot better than me. And when those people want to put in their time, effort, treasure to help, I say, yes, please, thank you. But I never ask. So I always want people to ask. And when they ask, then it grows and it comes along and we all build it together and it becomes all of ours. Yeah. I mean, Phil asked, he said, man, I remember the first year, dude. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Tell them how we actually ended up as a team.
So in my other life, in my day job, I've been doing conventions for about 15, 16 years. So in a specific kind of sales, direct marketing industry, right? So anyway, I had just met Michael in 2017 at the IC meetup in Orlando.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm just a guy that was on the IC that just wanted to buy stuff, right? And so I meet Michael. 6 months or so later after that, I see that there's an announcement that he's launching a convention. So I'm like, should I call the guy? I said, call him up.
Call the guy.
And I say, hey, Michael, just FYI, I don't know what you got going on, but if you need any help with this stuff, I've been doing this kind of thing for a long time and I'm here. And
I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. I was just mad, so I wanted to make this thing.
Exactly.
And he's like, I know how to do it.
About 3 weeks later, I get a call. He's like, I can hear him. He's like, oh my God, I'm trying to figure all this out. People are saying they want to be involved. They're flaking out. Next week, I was on a plane, and we spent a week kind of building the building blocks of it, and it's all going to go on from there. But, I'd really like to address you talking about the guest star lineup and the momentum that we've gotten and the buzz in the collecting communities and the sci-fi fan communities. Really, I attribute it to one specific thing. One of our core values is deeply rooted in the thought that a life lived for others is a life worth living, right? It is the selflessness. I mean, everybody's a customer. The guest stars are customers. The clubs are customers. The artists are customers. The staffs are customers.
The leadership team are customers. Wait till you see your exclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, they're cool.
And of course, the fans in our guests are all customers. And so it's our job, deeply rooted in customer service and really having an investment in creating a great experience for everybody, no matter how you're involved. Mm-hmm. And that's actually, besides the fact that I love Mike and Andrea, that's the reason I do this, is because that opportunity, when so many other experiences are just very thinly veiled cash grabs, right? Mm-hmm. And you're a product and not someone to be.
We gotta make some cash first before
exactly.
we can grab it, dude.
That's one of the things I've noticed. Michael, we talked before the convention last year. I was able to make it. Like, just talking to you again and knowing the feedback that Greg provided. Like, can't wait to get down there, because when you guys talk about it, it's from the top all the way to the bottom. It's fans running it, fans mm-hmm. coming, the guests are fans, everybody's a fan. So it's like, you really can't go wrong when you bring a giant fandom like Star Wars fans together. So it's gonna be a great time.
And then it's on top of that, all the other little things that just go with it, like you said, with your exclusives, the shop that's there, the after hours, the Star Wars movie night. I mean, there's so much for us to do. Plus, there's Nashville. I mean, you got so much to do. I mean, it's just a good time.
You got an extremely safe, clean party city 8 minutes away. So
So I know people who are tuning into us tonight are probably going, okay, when are these people going to finally tell us who this big announcement's going to be? So we'll maybe should we make them wait a little bit now? We'll go ahead and start talking about it. So give a couple little hints here. So this announcement that's coming, this character first appeared in the Star Wars world back in 2008. became very popular with Star Wars fans. And just overall is probably one of the most popular characters now in all of Star Wars. And I probably did not narrow it down for anybody. I was trying to work on that to really kind of go on there. But I think it's time to reveal this great guest announcement. So we have a pretty strong The Clone Wars lineup, I would say. Well, let's make it really strong, everybody. So for the Midwest Star Wars Fanatics exclusive reveal tonight for ICCC 2022, guest announcement is Ashley Eckstein. How amazing is this to get her on board for you guys and have her down here in Nashville? And if anybody knows and has actually talked and worked with Ashley, she's amazing. She's just down to earth with her fans, and it's just great talking to her. But Michael and Phil, tell us about this. How this one came about and how great of an addition this is to the convention.
Since 2018, I've been trying to get Ashley Eckstein. The problem was it would always be a scheduling conflict, or she'd have a book signing, because she's just not somebody who played Ashoka Tano. She has many businesses. She's grown her universe. She has clothing lines. She works just as hard as I do. So as far as lining up schedule, it's been difficult. But finally this year, we were able to line up schedules, and I'm really, really excited about it. And the reason why I'm excited about it, I was talking to them the other day, and what they said is, you know what? All the conventions that we've done, we have never done one where we have Ashley, Matt, and James Arnold Taylor at once. And we're going to put them all in a photo op. So that's going to be the first time ever you can get master, apprentice in one photo op. And the thing about our photo ops, unlike everyone else's photo ops on the planet, is, you know what? If you want to bring your kid into the photo op, we're not going to charge you for another photo op ticket. If you want to bring your wife into the photo op, we're not going to charge you for another photo op ticket. You know why? Because it's still one picture. I don't understand it. And maybe that's what you need to do so you could have your rainforest coffee table in your conference center and your giant corporate housing unit. I don't know. But we don't have those kind of significant costs. So we can bring all three to one show. Come on down, get a picture with all three of them. It's going to be phenomenal. Get their autographs.
Absolutely.
These three people together are not only really good friends in real life, but also with the connections that they have through Star Wars, it makes a magical experience that you can't get anywhere else ever. I don't care where. It's never happened. The Emperor has signed 16 shows in his life. You know what I mean? I'm trying to bring out the rarest of the rare. Even Trevor Butterfield, yeah, he checks a lot of boxes, or Clemso and stuff like that. But number one, they're wonderful guest stars. Number two, they never come to America. So what we're doing is we're bringing in people to fill up your posters, to fill up if you got a helmet, you're getting done. And the reason why is because we're actual nerds. So we understand what you want because you're one of us.
Yeah, and that's just, I'm glad we finally could reveal it tonight, because ever since I've been advertising this announcement, I've had so many messages. Who is it? I won't say. Who is it? No, I can finally say it.
You were sworn to secrecy.
I did. I said I would not say a word until tonight. So pretty awesome. Like, I even was hesitant to give it to Travis to actually do the background for me. Just kidding.
Well, you guys excited? What do you think of the lineup for ICCCon 2022?
It's amazing. I mean, there's really the only word for it. I mean, try to search the dictionary. There's no better word for it than amazing, I think. And yeah, I was a huge Timeless fan, so I saw Matt Lanter was gonna be there. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so cool. Then I was like, wait, then Obi-Wan's here. And then when I found out about Ash, I was like, okay, that's gonna be great. Like, that would be a great photo op. So again, fans thinking like fans, you know what we as fans want. So
yeah, I mean, just again, I mean, there's a couple good things. As for one, I've worked with a few of these. I've actually, talked with a few of these celebrities as well. So I'm going to save some money on autographs that I already have them, which means I can spend more money on collectibles while I'm down there. But it's just amazing just to see you guys putting together this lineup for the fans. And if you haven't been down there for ICCC, you're missing out. It's a different convention. It's a small convention with a big convention feel. And I think that might be Rhode Island Comic Con's slogan. So sorry, I that trademark. I don't know.
I didn't say it.
But it is. It really is, and that's what's amazing about it. I'm excited to be a part of just helping to announce some of these things and just be with the Star Wars family that is built around here. But like I said, Travis will be his first one down there, so it'll be exciting to see him down there and seeing this, and then. I can't wait till the nights after the convention's over where we're all sitting there just hanging out and, having a cold Pepsi and enjoying a Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
Sure. Man, if you're eating the hot chicken on day 3, you're a braver man than me.
Yeah. But again, I want to thank you guys tonight for letting us be the exclusive announcement for this. It means a lot to us and how far the Midwest Star Wars Fanatics have come. It's a small little group that we started. It's a small little city group, and we're growing it as well. Also too, for everybody just follows us, you can follow me at Star Wars Nerd 574, which is over here somewhere. Yeah, right there. Travis over at the Indiana Saloon. You can follow us at the #show.com. Many of our articles are there as well. And also Michael is pointing, he's got it all over the place, Phil. We had just a great time tonight. Awesome convention. I cannot wait to see you all down in Nashville this year. We will go live there a couple times as well. I'm excited about that. And hopefully, who knows, maybe we'll be able to bring some celebrities on screen as well for us while we're down there, and so you guys can ask questions.
You guys got your press badges. You're coming, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So
this will be my,
because you guys, you really, especially during the pandemic, but you guys that do these podcasts and keep that stuff alive, it's the same thing as Timothy Zahn was doing, man. So we really appreciate you guys, and anything that helps grow the hobby. That's what our rules are. That's what the club tables are. We give away tons of free club tables. Also, don't forget, get into the contests, because we have so many contests. We have video game contests. We have Dungeons and Dragons, Magic, Warhammer, cosplay, droid building. All these contests have gotten so large that the prizes are pretty insane. I mean, we're giving away a PS5 and a TV and
Switch, the new
LED Switch, and we gave away a PS5 last year too. But TVs, stuff like that. So if you're into any of those things, or you happen to be that certain type of nerd that likes video games or likes cosplay or likes vintage Star Wars, it's definitely the con for you.
But then you also have, I think, the patch hunts as well.
Oh, the patch hunts, swag.
Yeah, swag hunts.
Very few conventions have swag, so it's really nice that, and that's wonderful thing about the attendees. They know they're part of the show here, and that's what we always want to do. It's just as much yours as it is ours.
So it definitely is just one that if you haven't been there and you're from the Midwest, even if you're not from the Midwest, but if you're from the Midwest, there's no excuse not to get a little bit down south and enjoy Tennessee and head down to the convention, because it will be one of the times of your life down there. And like I said, it is a blast. It's one of the ones that I look forward to every year and cannot wait to see. I mean, you're going to have trouble topping next year. I can't wait to see what next year brings.
You just wait. I got some phone numbers.
I mean, unless you bring like Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford, man, I don't know how much more you can go on it. But
I don't think Harrison Ford ever signs unless it's like a room somewhere with something. I don't think he meets the humans. I saw him 100 feet away at Celebration once, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And for those, I saw a couple of people who just tuned in. For those who just tuned in, we did make our announcement tonight. And yes, again, Ashley.
Well, you missed it. You blew it. Tune in on time.
Yeah.
That's right. We'll give you one more tease, though, because it's a good one. Ashley will be there at Nashville signing your autograph. So, again, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight for our special show. I think we're going to start making this. I'm going to put Michael on the spot. I kind of want to make this a yearly thing, an ICCC special.
Yeah, so, I'm more than happy to do it, man. I always love to do it. And also, believe me, man, I am a very firm believer in those people that were with you at the beginning will be with you all the way to the end. So, yes, I'm always happy to do stuff with you, man. Always keep us posted. We were lucky enough to both get on together. He's from California.
Yeah.
So, we're never in the same room except for the con usually.
Well, except for now.
And now, yeah. But, so, no, it's very, very cool. We're very happy to be on. And thanks for the support all these years, and keep the support up. And we're going no place but up. So, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, tonight that tuned in. Cannot wait to see you all at our next conventions. I mean, we got a lot coming up. Nashville Celebrations right around the corner. Star Wars fans, this is going to be a great year. It's time to get back to normal and have some fun. So until our next show, be safe and may the Force be with you.